Well, good afternoon, good Friday afternoon, and Rhonda, of course, was not looking forward to this, but the good news is, Rhonda, that that our analytics tell us that we have to finish this in 5 minutes.
Okay, great.
Because people don't like to hear us talk anyway.
Okay.
Right?
That's good news.
You know, they're like, again. And so.
And we don't have the dog today.
And we don't have the
So
dog.
I feel crippled by that.
Yeah. So this is basically boring and boringer here from Kaplan Morrell, wishing you a good Friday. But the good news is that we've got this is a happy day. You know why?
No.
Because we have our first nominee, and we're gonna send our certificate. It's a very tiny certificate.
Oh, okay.
See, we've got a little tiny certificate. It's our first 2019 nominee in Profiles and Pettiness, and we're awarding it to Public Insurance Company. Can I use the mic? Yes, I can. Thank you, First Amendment free speech. You guys suck, okay? And so our little certificate, which we're going to mail announnously.
Okay.
Well, no.
Your signature's on there. It's not very anonymous.
Well, okay. We're gonna
Just saying.
We're gonna nominate. If I could, I'd make this certificate even smaller. But we're gonna nominate them. Why is Old Republic Insurance Company getting nominated? Because they made us go to a pre-hearing in order to get a client reimbursed for lunch during an IME. So in essence, they paid a lawyer like an hour and a half of prep time to say, no, we're not paying you lunch, your client lunch. And so this leads to the one useful hint of this video, which is if you have a work injury and the insurance company sends you to what's called a so-called independent medical examination, and I'll show you some other videos later on about how it's neither independent nor really an examination. Or an evaluation. Medical, but anyway, but one of the things that people don't know is that the insurance company, not only has to pay for the examination, but they also have to pay for your costs to attend the examination, and you can ask for those costs up front, and if they don't give you those costs, then you can say, sorry, I'm not going. And part of those costs obviously are mileage.
Correct.
What else?
Lost wages for that day.
Lost wages, although it's like a flat rate, it's $75. So, if you make more than 75, sorry. And if you make less than 75, you just, do stuff to make sure that they do lots of IMEs on your case, I guess. And then also.
If they have to travel
and
far away, then it's going to include meals and lodging.
Meals and lodging. And so the question was, this guy lives up in Fort Morgan. Our client lives in Fort Morgan. They wanted to send him down to Denver for an IME. It was going to take, with traffic, etc., close to about 5 hours, entire time. And so we requested not only mileage, but we requested that they pay lunch, $15. And they hired an attorney who probably did it under protest, I'm sure. But they hired an attorney. They probably. What do you think they paid to fight
when all was
fight my client? $15.
About $350.
Yeah. And so Rhonda, having done insurance defense, okay, in the hierarchy of who the insurance company would rather not pay, we've got injured workers and then we've got the insurance company's attorneys are like right underneath, right?
Yeah.
But they'd rather pay them slightly more.
Slightly more than the injured worker, but just slightly. But yeah.
The IME doctor is like way up.
Oh, yeah, way above that.
Way above that. And so for that reason, Old Republic Insurance Company, you are our first official 2019 nominee in Profiles and Pettiness, and we will let you know if you win come January at our gala red carpet. It's a very tiny red carpet, by the way. Award ceremony.
Well, we can't afford to spend much on it. Why would we do that?
Yeah, well, let's just say the award will befit the pettiness that earned it.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're not. This isn't for naught, because one of the things that we have here in our elegant waiting room is this letter, which has, as you can see, a penny on it. And no matter how petty they get, the problem is that you've hired an attorney who's even more petty. And we track down every penny. Which means that when the insurance company sends a check and it's missing a penny, they send us the penny and we get that for you, our clients. So our 5 minutes is up.
Okay.
What are you doing for Memorial Day?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, well, that's a good way to honor our fallen heroes.
Oh, well, I'll get a hold of my grandfather.
So
and
this
say
is why,
thank you.
again, like Rondo, this is the reason we hired her. She has no life. Other than working for you, she has no social life whatsoever. Anyway, if you or someone you know has been injured on the job in Colorado, would you kindly refer them to us? We help injured and disabled workers since 1995. Our attorneys have a combined over 60 plus years of experience, soon to be 70 something, right?
Right.
And our telephone number is 970-356-9898. You can find us on the web, internet, etc. Reach out to us. We offer free consultations. And with that, have a happy and Memorial and safe Memorial Day weekend.
Yes.
Bye.
Rhonda, you got a shout out from Michelle Hagan. She says, "You rock." And thanks for all the help.
See? And Michelle's grateful because you have no life and therefore can concentrate on her case, I'm assuming, because it's got to be a client, not a real friend, right? Oh.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.